perfectly normal to me.
Yes, of course it would. Oh, dear me. Have a look at this. Oh, no.
I got it.
This is the offload, which is far more important. And that was a super offload. Robbins just needed somebody else to be with him, and that would have been it.
There's your feed.
Yes.
See, it looked perfectly fine to me.
Did it?
Yes.
Dodged a bullet on 2 counts there, didn't they, Canada, because they're going to get a reset scrum, but they were in all sorts behind the scrum.
Yeah, Tanaka come through well, didn't he, Ian? Yeah, they got away with it all right, Canada.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
Okay. First.
Was that better?
No, not really. And that compounds it.
Just, yeah, and also he's on the ground on all fours. He's got to make an attempt to win the ball, so 2 infringements.
Penalty then to be taken here by Munro. And safely into touch.
So try and do something with it. Not just stand up. Try and rip the ball.
Well, the Canadian lineout has been a little shaky on occasions, but this time they go to Chauncey O'Toole. No problems at all, although the touch might be a bit of an issue. First. Now the Japanese players looking into the sun. Oh, that's good stuff from Webb. Really well done. And does open it up nicely here. Nicholas sends it wide for Endo. Endo taken down, but it's in Canadian territory now as Tanaka waits.
Push back there.
Hatikiyama. Short pass made by Hori to Kikutani. Now Tanaka for Arledge once again. Here is Nicholas. Tanaka. Arledge. Oh, a little change of tactics. Oh, roaring around like a pinball. Not sure who's knocked it on, but it looks like it might be Japan in the end. Everybody had a go at it.
As a player coming through had a grab at it, and it certainly propelled it forward. Just another innovation. Didn't quite come off this one from James Arledge.
Well, he spotted the space, didn't he, Ian? But I think he needed, rather than to go over top of the fence, he just needed to put it to the ground. Just a little grubber kick along the ground would have found that space. Instead, he went for the little chip and it got charged down. It wasn't the wrong option, is basically what I'm trying to say, that he just perhaps should have chosen a different kick. But he's looked good tonight, as Arledge gives him such good direction. He just tries to pop it over and it gets charged down by Munro. He had plenty of players coming through there, so if he had just dropped it to the ground, I think they would have been okay.
James Arledge, born in Hamilton, a couple of hours away from where we are here in Napier.
He's going to go to that here now. Okay. The height.
10 minutes gone, second half. Canada have added to their total in the second half. A brilliant individual try by Phil McKenzie. Now here's Canada getting it through the back line. New man Traynor. Just in Japanese territory. And the ball not released.
It was Nicholas again.
Just go away.
In fact, was it Robbins?
Thank you. Relax.
I wonder what that conversation, what language that conversation was in.
It's always
pointing and arguing with each other.
It's always the little scrum halves that start it. And Tanaka there, smile all over his face. It was one of the reasons that we just had a little issue there, but not a big one. Crowd 14,335.
Oh, that's tremendous again. Japan really blessed with a couple of outstanding halfbacks.
Yeah, they certainly are. Huasa and Tanaka are very good nines, very good.
So the line out throw, and there it is for Kikutani, and the captain crabbing a crossfield a wee bit as Tanaka reaches in, off to Arledge. Here is Endo, good bust by Endo, but then he's lost the ball on the tackle. He got through the initial tackle, then has lost control of the ball. It's snapped up by Carpenter, and a run by Marshall for Canada inside their own 22, and here's Kleberger ranging wide, and he's done really well. Got it off to O'Toole. He tried to get it in underneath, but it was snapped up by Munro, and Canada showing good innovation from inside their own 22, and the ball won't come out of there in a hurry. I'm not sure the wind is a factor at all now, Ian.
No, it's dropped away considerably, so John Kirwan's read it right, but I think Canada have read it as well, and they've decided that they're going to keep it ball in hand as much as they can. Here's Endo. He's a very impressive runner with ball in hand. They've just done enough of that tonight to Canada to rip the ball clear in the tackle on more than one occasion, and the Lucy's combining out here, 7 and 6, and big tackle from Ryan Nicholas, just enveloping the number 10 for Canada, Munro, and making sure it couldn't come out.
It's been one of the features of the World Cup, Justin, is players attacking the ball in the tackle, trying to rip the ball.
Yeah, they are targeting the ball, trying to rip it away. The compromise in that is that if you don't get a hold of it, because you've gone high and because you've got no shoulder on the opposite player, that if you don't get it, they get well over the advantage line because you've got no impact on them. But sometimes you can rip the ball free, which is what the Canadian player, Fundamover, managed to do there.
Crouch. Touch.
Large, vibrant crowd here at McLean Park, enthralled in this game, 17-12. The Japanese continue to lead as Fairhurst gets it off to Munro. Now coming forward to meet this is Endo. Oh, and, well, he knocked it on. He might say that he was interfered with, but play on, says the referee. Here is McKenzie.
First infringement.
Yeah, so it was a knock on by Endo in the end.
Yeah, it was a forward pass. So he had to go back to the first infringement. Endo went up very well. I think it was only when he came down that maybe he lost it. Stephen goes eyes on the ball. Stephen goes eyes on the ball. Does very well. And, he just let it slip away at the finish.
Well, here's a scrum situation, and it's in a pretty similar field position to where Canada tore Japan apart at the start of the second half.
Well, they've got exactly the same setup as well. You can see there in the back, the two blondies, Fundamover, and just inside Munro there is McKenzie, the try scorer from before. Will they do the same move?
Same again, black ball.
They're quite distinctive, aren't they? Not only did you mention that they were bottled blondes, Ian, but they've also both got the nice bright orange boots on, so
you just get the bind right.
It's easy to pick them up.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's easy. You just got to work out which is which.
Well, when they run a move like the one they run before, there's always a variation on it.
Crouch.
So maybe they'll run the same move but hit one of the centres who are running a decoy before.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
So Fairhurst gets it in. What sort of move are they going to run? They're going to come blindside with Carpenter, which is pretty easily defended by Japan. Have they turned it? Oh, no.
Oh,
they think they did.
Too many players down.
I think absolutely that should have been a turnover or a penalty.
Both teams down.
Carpenter went the wrong way, and Vatave gets straight over the ball. He was on his feet, and he hung on, and he hung on, and he hung on. In fact, he nearly ripped it free and did not get the reward. Watch this. There's Carpenter. There's Vatave over the ball, on his feet, trying to get a hold of it, I can't see how he hasn't been rewarded there. I thought it was excellent work from the blind side.
That's fine. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Okay, Fairhurst. This time looks like the backs will come into play. So Munro drops it off to Fundamover this time. Now Fairhurst again, 22 metres line. Carpenter standing over it. Fun to move it to this near side, but Carpenter this time goes open side.
Right there.
Bidens goes in to help out. Ball's a bit loose, but they managed to scramble over the top of it. Now Cudmore. Just going to try and use a little bit of muscle here. Gets assistance from Kleberger.
Number 1.
Reardon.
No!
Kleberger gets it just a little wider this time. Making some reasonable ground here, Canada. Once again, it's Bidens.
On the last line.
Now the winger's gone in to help. McKenzie. He's with Kleberger.
Fatave got his reward. And he's pumped up about it too. I should have got it 5 minutes ago, is basically what he's trying to say, but I'll take it now.
So James Arledge will make sure this goes into touch, and Japan survived that onslaught. And general delight amongst the Japanese players. 18 minutes gone second half as Hori throws, nicely taken in by Kitagawa. 10 out from their own 22. And the ball's come out the other way. So another chance for Canada as Carpenter sends it wide. Good defence on Ryan Smith. Now here's Van der Merwe. Stood in one tackle and couldn't manage the second. Ball there, and a real struggle going on.
Hold up.
Now Reardon gets there. Munro's wide. And even wider still is Smith. Again, it's snapped up by Bidens. He has had a big game tonight. Loose head prop for Canada. Borders there again for Fairhurst. Smith, Van der Merwe. Oh, he's away from one, but Endo makes sure that he goes to ground. Fairhurst again. This time Carpenter gets hit hard. Munro, Smith. Japanese defence holding up well under a lot of pressure. Fairhurst to Munro. Now Cudmore, a lot of red jerseys there. And the ball, they went forward. That definitely went forward. And Japan have dodged another one.
Well, good tackling. John Kerwin in his halftime interview mentioned to Ian Smith that on defence he wanted his players to go low, particularly around the breakdown. They are going low. And the big men like Cudmore aren't able to get over the advantage line. Bidens and co, he'll be very pleased, that man, that his players have listened to what he said at half-time. They're chopping them low. Look at that, nice and low, around the knees, knock them down. They've done that very well in the second half, and they're getting the benefit of it.
Energy-sapping stuff, though. They've been forced to make a lot of tackles on some very big men, especially around the fringes. So energy levels, bench will be a key, how the coaches use their benches, because there's a few of them starting to really feel it. But if Japan do get out of this, they might look at this last 10 minutes on defence as being one of the key factors in the game.
All decided in the fourth quarter of the game, 17-12. As Japan look to score only their second ever win at a Rugby World Cup. Successful over Zimbabwe way back in 1991. It's been frustrating ever since then. Although at the last World Cup they did draw with this very team, Canada, 12-all.
Well, interesting here. It appears as if Canada are going to go to the bench, and they're going to go for their skipper. Is it 16 for 2 they've signalled? 16 for 2. So they're going to lose all the experience of Pat Reardon at a crucial stage in the match.
Well, Jason Marshall thought it was him that was for the chop, but in fact it's Pat Reardon.
He looks super impressed as well to be subbed, doesn't he?
Seen that before somewhere.
Yeah.
Dunedin, wasn't it?
Possibly.
At least you got the start.
Oh, you should see the smile on my face up here, Ian.
Crouch.
You've made my day.
Touch. Pause. Hang it.
Tarnica gets it in. Off it goes to Arledge. Now Nicholas.